Coming to you from beautiful downtown Santa Rosa, this is the Backstage Sonoma podcast. And now, here's your host, Steve Roby.
Hey, welcome to Backstage Sonoma. I'm Steve Roby. On today's show, we're thrilled to feature guitarist and vocalist David Noble from the San Francisco rock band Wreckless Strangers. They're a collective of seasoned musicians celebrated for their Bay Area Gumbo, a unique fusion of blues, rock, Americana, and funk, with members who have collaborated with music legends such as Elvis Costello, Raitt, and Boz Scaggs. The band continues to honor San Francisco's rich rock and roll tradition through soaring harmonies, dynamic songwriting, and spirited performances. In this interview, we'll explore the making of their new EP, Blue Sky Fantasy, produced by four-time Grammy-winning producer Dave Way. Plus, we'll get an insider's view on their upcoming show at Sweetwater Music Hall, a night promising unforgettable music and special guest performances. To set the stage for our conversation with David Noble, our show kicks off with a performance of I Found a Way. It's Wreckless Strangers on Backstage Sonoma.
Don't you know that don't you know I found a way? Don't you know that yeah. Don't you know I found a way out. Such a beautiful morning, enough to pacify me. I'm gonna stop complaining about everyone and everything. Time to clean my bedroom and clear my head. Ain't no way I'm ever gonna stop unless I wind up dead. Don't you know that well, yeah. Don't you know I found a way? Don't you know that well, yeah. Don't you know I found a way? Don't you know that she comes on like a dream? Don't you know the prettiest thing you ever did see? Don't you know well, yeah. Don't you know I found a way out. I feel the cool wind blowing and smell the salty sea. It makes me stop and wonder how I could hate anything. Life is too damn precious to be wasting my time. Gotta get out from under this cloud and let my soul shine. Don't you know that yeah. Don't you know I found a way? Don't you know that yeah. Don't you know I found a way? Don't you know that she comes on like a dream? Don't you know the prettiest thing you ever did? Don't you know yeah. Don't you know I found a way? And there she was, looking up with those big blue eyes. My whole heart grew, not one but two sizes. Don't you know that don't you know I found a way? Don't you know that don't you know I found a way? Don't you know that yeah. Don't you know I found a way? Don't you know that yeah. Don't you know I found a way? Don't you know that
That's I Found a Way. It's by Wreckless Strangers from their new EP, Blue Sky Fantasy, and it was written by my guest, David Noble. Hey, David, it's great to have you here. Welcome to Backstage Sonoma.
Thank you, Steve.
Hey, for our listeners who might need to become more familiar with Wreckless Strangers, how would you describe the band's unique sound and what sets your music apart from other Bay Area bands?
Well, I didn't coin this phrase. This was actually coined by the other singer, Amber Morris, but she calls our sound a Bay Area Gumbo.
Yeah.
So it's a mix of everything from like Tower of Power to Sly and the Family Stone to Huey Lewis and the News to, you know, a little bit of Grateful Dead and some Americana influences. So it's not one genre, it's a mix.
Nice. How did you guys come together and who's in the band?
We had Mick Hellman on drums and Joshua Zucker on bass, Rob Anderson on guitar, Amber Morris on lead vocals, and Austin DeLone on keys. So the band's been through different iterations, right? Like the first iteration, it was actually called the Well-Known Strangers, and that was with Mick Hellman and two of his daughters. And they have since moved on to do a bigger and better thing. So Amber Morris stepped into the band to do like lead vocals, and that was about 5 years ago. So the band's been together for about 8 years, but this version of the band has been together about 5 years.
Hey, I want to congratulate you on the release of your new EP, Blue Sky Fantasy. What inspired this project's theme of hope, love, and perseverance, especially in contrast to the more introspective release, Orange Sky Dream?
Yeah, well, Orange Sky Dream that encapsulated more of, I guess, like the anger, right? Like the fear of just like, oh my gosh, what is happening? You know, the clinical discourse and huge environmental problems, and what are we going to do about it, right? And so it was just more of a chance to have a cathartic moment about those feelings, and then it felt like once we got that out, what filled the gap was hope, and that's where Blue Sky Fantasy came in, where we're like, whatever we have to do about these issues, we can't go about it through just anger and fear. We have to be hopeful and hold that hope so that we can assemble and make the right moves. So that was the impetus behind Blue Sky Fantasy.
What perfect timing with the situation now.
Right, I know.
How did you plan that?
We didn't plan that. It was timing, you know, but yeah, like right now, oh my gosh, I can't speak for anybody else, but I need to hold on to hope.
Yeah. Well, thank you for putting out this record right now. It gives us all hope.
Yeah, thank you.
Can you tell us about the song we opened up the show with called I Found a Way? I understand it has a personal backstory for you tied to your first experience with parenthood. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
How did those moments shape the songwriting for you?
Yeah, okay. So I'm sure I don't need to explain this, but being a new parent, you have lack of sleep and just anxiety, right? Like just having a 2-year-old means that I'm learning how to do this. I don't really know how to be a parent. And so some days I would wake up from a not so restful sleep and be like, oh my gosh, like what am I doing? I'm completely lost. And then in those moments, I find joy in just the small things, like, oh, hey, like leaves outside are changing colors. It's quite beautiful. Or hey, let's go to the beach. This is a gorgeous place that we live in. And I just kind of slowed down. I downshifted and realized the beauty all around us. So that's where it was a moment of hope for myself. I'm just like, hey, listen, like you'll find your way. But there are markers, like indicators all around you of like, hey, just look at your child. You find love and she'll teach you how to do this. So my daughter has been very instrumental in sort of like helping me through this whole adjustment of being a parent.
Nice. What a great message too.
Yeah.
Let's play some more of the music from the new EP. This track I'm going to play is called Lost Souls. What drew you to this Bonnie and Clyde style tale, and how did collaborating with Bill Champlin and Bruce Gates come about?
So Amber Morris has actually been good friends like with the Champlins for a while. And there was some point years ago that Bill Champlin said, hey, listen, I want to put a song in your throat. This is a song that I think that you would really like sing well. And so he actually sent us a demo of, I think, 3 songs. And we listened to all 3 and we loved all 3. And we're like, oh no, now we have to, you know, we don't have room on the EP for 3. So let's choose 1. And I guess we just like the narrative of it, right? It's got a funky sort of slow strut to it, but it just talks about like living life on the edge and the trials and tribulations of that. But it felt like a good song to round out the EP.
Well, let's hear it now. It's Wreckless Strangers with Lost Souls. That's Wreckless Strangers with Lost Souls. It's on their new EP, Blue Sky Fantasy, which is available now. Their guitarist, David Noble, is my guest. David, what were some career highlights for you and the band members, considering your collective experience working with noble artists like Elvis Costello and Bonnie Raitt? Yeah.
I unfortunately have not worked with Elvis Costello or Bonnie Raitt, but Austin Delone, our keyboard player, has. Oh my gosh, that guy has stories. Like, if you ever have a chance to sit down and talk to him, he will tell you all about that. He's been instrumental in helping sculpt the sound, just because he's had so much experience and worked with so many great artists. He's sort of our guiding light, right? Like, we come up with ideas, he comes up with ideas, but he's like, hey, let's try this. And 9 times out of 10, he's right. We just follow Austin. He knows where to go. But career highlights, it's been an honor on the last 2 EPs working with Dave Way. I mean, he was the guy who's worked with Pink and so many other huge artists, and he wanted to work with us. And I'm like, well, okay, great. And he's got a great ear, but he's also a good collaborator. Like, he's not one of those producers that comes in and says, we're like, we're doing it my way. He hears from everybody in the room, and then we make a collective decision. He's very good at sort of playing politics and making sure that everybody's happy.
That's so needed in production there.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah. Hey, you mentioned Amber Morris just a few minutes ago, and she's got some powerful vocals, and they really shine in songs like Never Give Up. How does the band approach its songwriting process, particularly when balancing different voices and musical ideas?
I think we try to play to the band's strengths, right? And there are songs where it's just obvious. It's like, Amber should sing this, and we should just give her all the room that we can because she's got this, obviously. And then there are times when Amber needs a break and wants to, sit out for a song. So that leaves room for myself or for Joshua Zucker or Austin Delone to step up and sing. But what's great about it is that she has so much experience vocally that just coming up with harmonies and vocal arrangements, that's second nature to her. So especially in the studio, we just follow her lead and say, Amber, what do you hear? Where do you want to go with this? Do we do oohs or ahs, or how do you, and she knows exactly what to do.
We're talking with David Noble about Wreckless Strangers' new EP, Blue Sky Fantasy, which is out now. Up next is the track Never Give You Up, and you're listening to Backstage Sonoma.
When they're grinning in your face, don't pay no worth gain? Could you cut it with a knife? Desperate measures, desperate times. Would you give an inch just to take a mile? Buckle up, darling, it's a hell of a ride. Desperate measures, desperate times. With that grinning in your face, don't pay no mind. Just smile them and wave as you're passing by. Don't you know we're all afraid? Leave it all behind. Don't never give up. Never give up. No, no, never give up. Never give up. Don't never give up. Never give up. Trust that you are great. Stand and fight another day. Speak up even if your voice shakes. You are the power, you are the grace. Trust in belief. Gotta keep the faith, keep the faith. I know it's hard sometimes, but ain't it precious that makes a diamond shine? With that grinning in your face, don't pay no mind. Just smile then and wave as you're passing by. Don't you know we're all afraid? Leave it all behind. Don't never give up. No, no, never give up. Don't never give up. No, no, never give up. Don't never give up. No, never give up. Never give up.
That's Wreckless Strangers. It's from their new EP, Blue Sky Fantasy, which is available now. I'm talking with guitarist David Noble, and this is Backstage Sonoma. David, with the new EP and your Sweetwater show on the horizon, what's next for Wreckless Strangers? Are there any upcoming projects or plans your fans should be excited about?
Yeah, it looks like we're going back in the studio in late February. It's been a process. We just don't stop writing songs, and we've got a whole nother EP pretty much ready to go. We just need to put it down. And so right now we're looking at different producer options. Like Dave Way is definitely a great fit, but is there somebody else who might have a different flavor? So we're in talks about that. But yeah, there are some tours planned for spring of 2025.
Nice.
But I have further details about that.
Okay. Any idea, a rough idea of when you might have the new EP available?
I think if we really move fast on it, we should be able to have it out about a year from now.
Well, let's talk about the Sweetwater Music Hall show coming up. It sounds like an exciting event, complete with special guests and themed cocktails. I want to hear more about that. What can the audience look forward to from that night? And how does it feel to bring this celebration to such an iconic venue?
Oh boy, it's a joy playing at the Sweetwater anytime. And it's a great staff, a great venue, great system. And they've been awesome about working with us. And we're bringing in Mad Alchemy to do a light show. And we'll have a cotton candy machine that has both blue and orange cotton candy. And drink specials. They understand that bands want to be creative and have fun. And so it's a great environment to have an album release.
Nice.
We have a team of people sort of working on that right now. And of course they could share that with me. I'm sorry, I don't have anything to share with you, but
you got to show.
You got to show up to find out.
Yeah. Well, what about the special guest? Can you mention any names?
We're definitely having Amber Morris's husband, Cal Morris, sit in. At this point, I believe Bill Champlin will be there.
Oh, nice.
I hope they'll be there. He should be there. So like the band that's opening up for us is called the Bobo Band, and they have a full horn section, and we're stealing their horn section for our set. So it's going to be a much bigger sound and more true to the EP because there are horns on the EP. So it's been fun having like rehearsals with them and talking over arrangements. So it should be a great time.
Yeah, it sounds like fun. And let me remind our listeners, Wreckless Strangers will perform at Sweetwater Music Hall on Thursday, November 21st. Doors open at 7 and showtime is 8. Tickets are available now at sweetwatermusichall.com. And be sure to visit the Wreckless Strangers website, recklessstrangers.com. You can pick up their music and see their tour schedule. Hey, David, thanks for being on the show, and have a great time at the Sweetwater Music Hall.
Thank you so much, Steve.
That's David Noble from Wreckless Strangers. We're back in a minute with more Backstage Sonoma.
Hey musicians, would you like to be a guest and promote your upcoming concert and latest release? It's easy. Just email the host at backstagesonoma@gmail.com. Now, let's get back to the show.
Thanks for listening to the Backstage Sonoma podcast. Join us next time for more great interviews and music from local and touring musicians. You can find us on the web at backstagesonoma.com.